Risk is often summarized by expected value, but a favorable expectation does not prevent ruin. A process can have positive drift and still reach an absorbing state. Averages describe typical outcomes across many paths. They say nothing about paths that cross a terminal boundary. A tail event is an outcome in the extreme region of a distribution. Tail probability measures the likelihood of a value exceeding a large threshold. An absorbing state is a state with no exit. Once reached, the process terminates. All future gains become irrelevant after absorption. The tail of the distribution governs exposure to that boundary. In a finite random walk, two absorbing barriers bound the process. Ruin occurs when the walk reaches zero. Even in a fair game, the probability of ruin is strictly positive. Initial capital determines survival probability. With limited capital, ruin is not a question of expectation, it is a question of path. In a light-tailed distribution, extreme outcomes decay exponentially. In a heavy-tailed distribution, the tail decays slowly. Rare events remain significant for much longer in heavy-tailed processes. Moments like variance may be infinite or misleading. Tail shape governs ruin exposure, not average behavior. Over a finite horizon, ruin probability depends on drift and initial capital. Over an infinite horizon, a fair game leads to ruin with probability 1. Positive drift reduces ruin probability. It does not eliminate it. Time increases exposure to absorbing states. It does not provide protection. Variance measures symmetric dispersion around a mean. Ruin is an asymmetric event at a hard boundary. High variance does not imply high ruin probability. Low variance does not imply safety. In heavy-tailed processes, variance may be infinite while ruin probability remains finite. They measure structurally different things. Expectation does not imply survival. Time does not diversify tail risk. Rare events dominate asymptotic outcomes. Once absorption occurs, averages become irrelevant. Ruin is a structural property of a process, not a statistical outlier to be averaged away.